Our coverage here, Radio Row, New Orleans Convention Center, site of Super Bowl 47, continuing on as we wind down a great week. All this coverage brought to you by Low T Center in Brentwood, Ensign, Maryland Farms, and Freeland Chevy Business Elite Sales. Darren McFarland here at our 102.5 The Game table. And our next guest is a big man, a popular man. I'll tell you what, he's hard to corral over here. A lot of people stopping him. Tony Casillas, and he was a great defensive tackle. Got 2 Super Bowl rings with the Dallas Cowboys. He stops by. Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just I'm glad I'm only here for one day and one night.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, a great time, man. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Well, if there's any city that knows how to host a party, right, it's New Orleans.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's great. You get off the airplane, they give you your beads, and I mean, they're just glad to have people here. So it's a great city to come to. But it's even better to have a Super Bowl.
What 2 cities did you play in?
Super Bowl 27 was in Pasadena, and
Okay.
28 was in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. That's
Pasadena's not a bad place. Atlanta, not a bad place. Pasadena was pretty special just because of where it was as far as the Rose Bowl. So, but great weather, and it's in L.A. Can't go wrong there.
No. Are you, as a player, isolated from all of this? I mean, I realize it's gotten a lot bigger over the years, but take me through after media day. How isolated are you as a player till Sunday?
As a player, you try to get everything out of the way. Obviously, you get tickets allotted for yourself, and so as soon as you start picking who you're going to invite, family, friends, whoever.
How difficult is that, by the way?
Well, you just know the 50-yard lines. They're probably not going to get those because there's a lot more value in those if you get, it's not. It's just part of it. I mean, obviously you have people that come out of the woodwork, and that's just
cousins you've never heard of.
Oh, cousins,
friends, neighbors.
They want to know you from when you're in
4th grade together,
1st grade class. I sit behind you. You don't remember me? I'm like, yeah, I can't. You can't remember yesterday, but that's just part of the whole process and the experience of being here and being in this, being part of this game. Is it everything that goes along with it? Be able to embrace it, experience, because it really goes by really fast as you get older. Like myself, you're moved on, and before you know it, it's the 20th anniversary of the Super Bowl you played in. It's like, man, I'm old, but the experience and have those memories, and not only that, to have a Super Bowl ring. It's a lot to be said to get there. It's very difficult, but when you get there, you surely want to have a token to show what you accomplished, and that's having a Super Bowl ring. I mean, that's just it's an unbelievable accomplishment, and it's just very difficult to do.
It is amazing. When you think about, you're in the College Football Hall of Fame. You were a 1st-round pick, 2nd overall?
2nd, yeah.
I mean, you played at a football factory at Oklahoma.
Won a national championship there.
But yet, I mean, the one thing people are going to ask Tony Casillas is, let me see your fingers, right?
Yeah.
Let me see, what do you have on
Well,
there?
when you ask Tony Casillas about what your memories are, what stands out, and whether I was very fortunate on the college level, playing a big the national championship game, and also being able to experience playing in Super Bowls. And there's nothing like this. So it's that first series of plays, it's a blur. It's an out-of-body experience to be in that element, and it's almost like you stop breathing, you hyperventilate, and you can't breathe, and the next, it's business as usual. Let's get back down to it. But it's hard to explain to players that are going to their experience, what to expect. You just got to live it and breathe it and experience.
In fact, Sean Salisbury sat here this week and said, it's a different animal on Sunday. He's like, even Troy Aikman, he hyperventilated. It's Troy Aikman. And these were his exact words. He goes, this just in, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And you could tell that, what's going to happen on Sunday still gets to, everybody.
I think it's a good start. I think most of the teams that start fast in a big game like this, it kind of dictates what can happen. I mean, there's some teams that just don't overcome just being in that element. But I think, and you look at this game, you got a quarterback that's only played 10 games. He doesn't really know any better, but I like the way he's polished. Flacco, I mean, he's played well, They have great defense. Both teams do, but there's going to be mistakes made. I mean, that's just part of the football game, and certainly in the Super Bowl, it's going to be quite magnified.
Was that Dallas team? And I know you said you won a national championship at Oklahoma. I mean, that was quite a run the Cowboys were on. That was quite a dynasty, and this was right before, the salary cap has changed everything, and you can't build teams like that anymore. Was that the best team you were ever on?
Oh, absolutely. Just, from top to bottom, you look at, we had 3 Hall of Famers, Troy and Emmett and Michael Irvin, and then should have a couple more on that team. But, I mean, we were just built for success. I mean, it didn't start like that. I mean, we got hammered by Detroit in the '91 divisional game, and then we learned from that. But I mean, we just had so much depth defensively. I mean, defensively, we wore people out. I mean, Nick said it was before the salary cap. Free agency brought people in, just stacked them up, and just hammered you in the fourth quarter. So, realistically, I mean, it's hard to do, but that team could have won 4 Super Bowls in that decade.
What made Emmitt Smith so good? Because a lot of people, I think, he's walked away with all the numbers. Jerry Rice, most people other than Randy Moss say greatest ever because he has all the records. Emmitt Smith has all the records, but it doesn't seem like everybody's quick to jump at Emmitt Smith saying how great he is or he's the greatest.
Well, and that's a great argument. I think numbers numbers speak to a lot of volume, and the longevity of the game. I mean, I think what made Emmett so unique is that he knew how to take a hit. And you see all the great running backs. That's now in the NFL. That's why you don't see the longevity of these running backs because they don't know how. I mean, they're a power runner, but I mean they absorb and they don't know how to elude a hit. And he was so good at making himself small and you watch him as his pad level, and that's what got him to 15 years in the league and an all-time leading rusher because longevity. I mean, there's a lot to be said for longevity, and I love Adrian Peterson. I think he's a great running back, and what he overcame last year, but to be able to surpass have the all-time rushing, it's all about staying power, and that just seems to me that's a dying breed because guys like him, it's a different offense, but he just knew how to take a hit and very quick and had just a very great instincts and vision to where to find cracks and creases to extend the play.
How would you have lined up and handled read option, pistol, where we're going, where the NFL is headed?
Well, it's funny because when I was at Oklahoma, we played in the old wishbone, and we do that eye bone, the pistol offense, but we didn't have it's just, for me, you got to be patient. Guys got to play their responsibilities, but you can't let them dictate. It's a reactionary business. React on what they're doing and whatever your responsibility is. But now, I mean, the quarterbacks in the NFL, they don't last long. When I say that, these read option guys, you hit them 3 or 4 times. Look at all the quarterbacks. Now, these younger guys, but 10 years from now, they won't be doing that. And maybe 10 years from now, maybe that's the fad they change to. But, for me, I mean, you just can't give up the big play. You can't. You got to force the issue.
Tell me about what you're doing with Low T, and we're glad you stopped by because you see we have 2 Low T helmets here at our table.
Well, I've been involved with Low T Center. What it is, it's a facility where men that can go and get their testosterone, tested, and based off low testosterone. I mean, guys in the 40s and 50s, they need to know their score. And if you're fatigued, you have weight loss or weight gain. Libido, I mean, those things, if you have those type of symptoms, it may be something that has to do with your low testosterone. So not only that, if you go into one of the centers, they test your PSA, your cholesterol, and obviously your testosterone. Not everybody's a candidate, but you want to be in the range of 350 to 1,000. If you're a candidate, the staff there will be able to address that through their doctors. And, there's so many health issues that go along with that. And, us men, we got to take care of ourselves. We got to look good. We got to take care of those young wives, our wives. We got to keep looking like we're young, right? So that's a good thing. So not only that, you got to live. the quality of life is important, and as a man, having a good score and your testosterone is even important. So
all right, you talked me into
go
it.
to Live T Center.
Today's my birthday. I'm 44, so I better check into it, Tony. Thanks for. You know what? I'm not going to ask you for a prediction of who's going to win. I'm just going to ask you very quickly, since you're a defensive-minded guy, which defense do you like better, Ravens or 49ers?
Yeah, I'll tell you, you cannot not
both
not
very
love,
good.
Not love the Ravens. I think. I like both. You know what I like about San Francisco? I love their secondary, and I love their linebackers. I love the way they tackle, and for me, that's a key to having a great defense, because there's not too many teams that when the yards after the catch or breaking tackles. I mean, that's a sign of a good defense. But in this game, I like the 49ers and win the game. So Kaepernick, I think, is going to surprise a lot of people. Everybody's like getting all romance because seduced that he doesn't have experience in a big game. Well, hey, you got to experience sooner or later. You got to experience a big game, and
sometimes that works in your favor.
Absolutely,
as you know. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, bud. Enjoyed it. Thanks
Good
for
meeting you,
Tony
Casillas. We appreciate him joining us here at our table. We'll take a break and we'll be back.